Hi, welcome to episode 25 of the AdoreKnit Podcast. I'm your host, Boy George. No, I'm not. I'm your host, Steph, also known as the Knitting Samurai, and AdoreKnit Steph on Instagram. So here I am, rocking the St. Patty's Day. So I hope this isn't offensive. I thought it was a super cute hat, right? And so I got it for the boys, but they're not here, and it was delivered, and I really want to wear it, but I want it more like that, okay? Happy St. Patrick's Day, woo! How have you been? It's been a little bit since we last spoke. I've done lots of knitting. It is all about the socks around here. So first, let me just tell you that there's going to be a prize drawing for February AdoreKnit, hashtag AdoreKnit contest. I have some acquisitions. There's going to be a shop update. My hair, a bunch of it is in a bun, like a top knot up here. You see, top knot? And it's like it wants to bounce around. We'll see how long this hat lasts. Anyways, finished objects, new cast-ons, and whips. So, let's get into it, shall we? Can't do anything without coffee. Have to have plenty of coffee. I will tell you that today, normally I record right there, and I face 180 degrees. So today I wanted to try a different setup. I recorded a section in the living room like this, and I kind of like the light, so let me know. If you don't like it, tell me. I feel like I'm less blown out than when I turn on the studio lights, which happen to be that light, and I don't know, yes, you can see it, that light. That's my very messy desk. That's my watercolor turtle. No, I didn't paint it. There's the light and the printer. This knob is part of the daybed in this room. What else? All good things are wild and free. Okay, there you go. That's enough of a tour. Let's talk about, so the prize drawing. Dun, 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 dun. So excited this time for the month of February. I wrote it down. We had 75 draw entries. So if you would like to get in on this, post a picture of your work in progress, whatever you're knitting, with one of our stitch markers or progress keepers on it, and tag it, hashtag AdoreKnit, and every month we do a prize drawing for a $10 gift certificate to the shop. And this month, I maybe wrote this down wrong. I think it's Kathy Makes Things, although for some reason I have an R in the name Kathy, so I'll double check that and write it across here. She shared with us a picture of a gray hat that she was working on, and the hat was being modeled by her super adorable, I'm gonna guess it was a Whippet or a Greyhound or some kind of little dog. So very cute. So the prize drawing. Yay! Congratulations. Okay. Why does my nose always itch like crazy whenever I podcast? Okay. It looks so ridiculous. Sorry, I'm very distracted. Okay, acquisition. So you know how I do the Desert Vista Dye Works knit along? Well, I got to pick my free colorway for completing. I did 11 months, the back 11. I didn't do January. So, if I got that, I would have gotten 2 free skeins last year. But I got to pick my color, and I picked The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. See, you're not really seeing that very well. Hi. How about I hold it back here? Ooh, that's good. So, it's very pretty yellow, blue, and black. Yep. So, I got that. I also, Lisa, Fiber Nymph, she got me. She posted her, what's it called? Color Play number 2, which is, I don't know, it's a 5-stripe yarn, and I thought it was so gorgeous. I had to have it. So it has this great gray, a goldenrod color, a strawberry red, and then of course teal, and that's only 4 colors. So there's one more color. Must be a light teal. Yeah, Anyways, so when I ordered this, because I saw it and I was like, oh, that must be mine. And I ordered it in the Traveler Base, which is her sport weight, 80/20. I like to knit things other than socks with her yarn. And she's one of the few self-striping dyers that I get not sock weight from. So very happy to have this. But I also ordered a coordinating skein of the teal color. Because of course, why not? Ocean is the name of this color. Isn't that beautiful? So 2 skeins of Traveler, which is a 80/20 superwash merino nylon, 328 yards. And then I love this ocean color so much, I did get it on the on her bounce base. I love her labels, by the way. They're very pretty these days. And I ordered a half skein of the red color because it's a very pretty red. What color is that? What's that named? It's called Winter Reds. So super nice. So these won't be knit together, but aren't they beautiful together? Like a really good one I had. So again, that's my acquisitions. I also won a prize. So you know how I'm slow to listen to Jen on the Down Cellar Studios podcast. I'm not a big audio. Like when I'm listening to audio, it's news or an audiobook. That's what I tend to lean towards. So I happened to listen to the last episode, but I think I'm a month late in listening to it, like really late. And I heard Jen's mom say my name, so I won one of the grand prizes. It's so exciting. So I'm really glad I participated in the pigskin party knit along because I think I'm getting like $60 worth of yarn, an ebook of patterns, Knitter's Brew, I think was the name of it, Legacy Fiber Arts. Oh, I'm not going to remember the other yarn, but there are 2 yarn dyers that I wanted to try, and then a stitch marker. So it's like $100 worth of stuff that I won just by participating. So don't you just love them? So there's that. Let's talk about finished objects. So let me just add in that this wall hanging that you saw at the beginning of the show was made by my mom. She made it for me. Can you see it? She did hand quilting on it. Oh, there, you can see it. And not hand quilting, freehand with her machine. I don't know. She's big into sewing. But I just wanted to share. So, isn't it nice? Nice and St. Patrick's. I'm going to pause here and share with you my earlier finished object from this week. So this is me from the future, just popping in to show you my finished shawl. Woohoo! There you have it. So the marker is where I was last. It's been washed and blocked. This is the 22.5 degree shawl by Martina Bem. And I used Hummingbird by Sun-Soaked Yarns for the body. And then I used her Moss colorway for a contrast scalloped edge. The pattern calls for a scalloped edge, but not a contrast. Sorry, I was blowing out. What else can I tell you about this? It's knit on size 3 needles, and I definitely noticed it's very dense. When I finished with, I ran out of the main color, the Hummingbird. I had, how much did I have left? I was 50 stitches short on the count for this, and so overall it's 50 stitches short, or I guess it's 100 because the scallop doubles the number of stitches. So when I was binding off 680 stitches yesterday, I was not the happiest person. So no, it was fine. The scallop was actually way more troublesome to do, but I love the finished effect. I knit this once for me, and now I've made a much larger version for my mother. So she's coming here any second, and we are going to see Emma. I know I said I knitted on size 3s, but did I tell you it's very dense? My brain, where is it? It's very dense, and I would rather have had it on a size 5, I think. That's my preferred fingering weight shawl. But look at how long that is. Oh, that. So She should be good. And now she'll make me more bags. Okay, back to object. I have some notes. To bind off, I wanted something super stretchy, right? Because it's a scalloped edge on the pattern, and I've knit it before, and I knew I wanted it to be like super stretch. So I couldn't find the name of the bind off. I just looked for YouTube videos, and the technique I used, which made it's a beautiful bind off, was knit, and then knit those 2 stitches together, and then knit one and knit those 2 stitches together all the way around. So at the end it was a giant bind off, but like I think I probably would have said this 680 stitches, which seems massive, but it's a beautiful finished object. My mom loves it. I washed it on Thursday night. I washed it Thursday night, finished it around like 9 o'clock, finished binding off. Soaked it, rolled it up in a towel, squeezed out all the excess water, because you know you're not supposed to wring something out that's a knit item. Squeezed out the excess water, ran in my bedroom, threw it over the door, grabbed both sides, and just pulled. And then I pulled to try and get as much into the length of it as I could. And so it ended up well over my wingspan. So I'm going to say it was like 7 feet long, even though I was 50 stitches short of the, hi girl, 50 stitches short of the recommended ending stitch count. And I turned the ceiling fan on, and I went back downstairs, and I went to bed with the ceiling fan on, and I told Steve not to turn it off until at least after midnight. So got up in the morning, shawl was dry, ready to go. So I have gifted that to my mom, who has been wearing it and is happy to report that it matches with 2 of her coats or 3 of her coats. So yay! And I'm really glad to have that off my needles. My goal had been to get that done by February, and last Friday was not February, but it was close, and it freed me up. So it's like, okay, now what do I want to knit? And what I wanted to knit was not the Garden Gate sweater. I know. I showed it to you, and then I don't think I've touched it in like 2 weeks. So I need to pick it back up and get going on it. I don't want the spring to kill my mojo. You know how that sometimes happens with a winter item? When the weather warms up, you're like, oh, I don't want to knit that anymore. I do want to knit a lightweight tee though, so I perhaps need to think about that, just to wear in the summer because it's nice. I also have, because I'm all over the place, I did some cleaning in my bedroom closet, and I have a sweater that I knit, and it's, well, I have a lot of sweaters that I knit that are just ridiculous, and I'm pretty sure, I can't remember the name of it, but it's yarn. Where did I get the yarn? It's Briar Rose yarn that I got 3 years ago and knit it within like a month of getting it. And I think I'm going to throw it I'm going to wash it in the washing machine on delicate, and then I'm going to throw it in the dryer because I don't want to rip the sweater out. I've toyed with that. No, I don't want to do that. And at this point, I can't wear the sweater. It's huge. So shrink it down a bit and see what happens, right? Live life dangerously. So you've seen sock number 1 of my Desert Vista Dyeworks sock for the month. And here is sock number 2. So I was where my little dinosaur is. Oh, it's not facing you. I love my dinosaur. Look, isn't he so cute? Oh, dinosaur. Stegosaurus. Not my favorite dinosaur. Brontosaur or Apatosaurus, whatever I'm supposed to call it. That was my favorite. Yeah, so these socks are my standard Wendy Johnson 2x2 rib sock. I use her slip stitch heel with a gusset on everything, practically. And the yarn is Desert Vista Dyeworks. The colorway is Witches of Eastwick. I knit them on size 0s, 2mm needles. They're fun. I think I told you I want to knit myself a pair because these are not for me, but they are. This color is gorgeous, and I did buy this color in a worsted weight. So other self-striping yarn dyers do worsted weight. I don't know. I love Lisa. So there's that. Moving into, well, I'm staying with the sock theme. So you've seen these before. This is my, what is this? This sock, which is by Tina Koo. And you can see my little house on there. So cute, so toasty. These are Christmas socks. I am shooting for 3 pairs this year. This has this very interesting toe up construction so that the patterning, it's so distracting. I need it to tell me where to increase. Oh, I can flip it over. So the patterning comes down to here, and you can see that the ribbing, and it's just very interesting, and then you decrease the stitches out. So there is sock number 1. See how the heel, isn't that cool? I really like it. So sock number 1, I was knitting in the movie theater, so this is an extremely tall cuff. Oh well, it happens, right? And then sock number 2, I needed more movie theater knitting, so I got this one going, and I have that much done. So I have finished 1 color repeat, and now I've started again. And I did do a 16 stitch toe, so it's a little more rounded, a little less pointed on the toe. And these are my new favorite sock needles. Like, I love this cord. So I believe these are the Chagos, and they are the 0s 2mm. So that's the second sock. Now you're saying to yourself, Stephanie, it's so far into March. Have you started your DVD socks? Yes, I have. I wish they were done, but they're not. So this color seemed Eastery to me. So I pulled it out. It is called Neverwear. This is based on a Neil Gaiman book. We have to discuss Neil Gaiman for a minute. I'll let you just look at this sock while I talk. So The Graveyard is a magnificent book. The Ocean at the End of the Lane or something, also magnificent. Norse Gods, I love that one. What else have I read by him that Angels and Demons, was that the name of it? With Crowley? God, yeah, it has to be Angels and Demons. Good Omens, that was the name of it. Good Omens. That they made a great Prime mini-series out of it. And anyways, so, but Neil Gaiman reads all of his books. I don't know when he wrote Neverwhere. I thought at first it was his first book, and listening to it, the story reminded me of the Dangerous Alphabet drawings, which is a book for children, but it's like a 13 stanza poem with these really gruesome drawings. Not really gruesome, but I bought it not knowing what I was buying and thinking I was buying a book for like alphabet stuff, but there were scary skulls and bad guys, and it's not something I wanted to share with my 4-year-old, but I did. So we don't have it anymore because I didn't want the second one to see it. But the plot at the beginning, I had to go look it up because I was like, is this the story of the Dangerous Alphabet? But it's not. It's different. I got about 2 hours into it, listening to it on audio. All of the Gaiman books that I've read have been audio. And he reads them all. And for some reason, his voice in this one, I was just like, you are so patronizing. You know more than the main character. I felt like he was putting the characters down almost. Like, see how stupid they are. They don't know what's going on. I did not enjoy it. So, and the story was not captivating me. I didn't like it. So, I did that great thing on Audible where you can exchange, and I did. And instead I got the second book in the Reckoner series, which is by Brendan Sanderson. I read the first one in like 2 days. Very good. It's like walking into a comic movie, nonstop action. You barely notice that, like, oh my god. Very intense, very good. I like that one a lot. So while I'm here, I'm going to talk about the other book I recently read. Stephen King's The Institute. Normally I find books centered around kids kind of annoying, and I enjoyed it. So that was good. And I completely forgot from the beginning of the book till like 3/4 of the way through the book, I completely forgot about a character from the very beginning. It's like, wait, who's this guy? Why am I supposed to know him? And then it connected up in my brain, but it was funny. It's good. He's my favorite author. So, of course, I loved it. I always love everything he writes. I would give it a 93. And I would give Steelheart a 94, just because it is fluff. It didn't make me consider any life choices or anything like that, but it was fun. And now I'm reading Evertrue, I think. So last summer what's the name? Brody Ashton, I think. I know it's a pen name. I think it's a pen name. It's a lady. Anyways. Yeah. So this summer I read the first 2 and I really enjoyed them. So this is the third in that trilogy that I've kind of been saving. You know how I do that. Like, oh, I don't want it to end. I don't want to lose my friends. But I needed a super palette changer after trying Neverwhere and not really getting into it. So there's that. But this sock is also Neverwhere, and I won't hold it against it. Susan probably really likes this, like that story, but maybe I'm full on Gaiman, and maybe he should have someone else read his books, because they maybe don't know what's going to happen. I don't know. Anyways, so here it is. La la la. It reminded me of Easter eggs, as I said. Yes, you could see it. I knit these completely different. So I got the pattern. It's free on Ravelry. It is the Fork in the Road. I wrote down my cast on, but I didn't write down who that was by. I'm sorry, designer. Yeah, so it's free on Ravelry. So I always knit this way, toe up. But I decided to go cuff down on these because that's what the Fork in the Road pattern was. And I like the way that this part looked. So I wanted to replicate that. And not being familiar with the pattern, following the pattern is a good way to figure out how to replicate this. So I cast on for the cuff, right? And I made it, yeah, it's stretchy enough. It's not perfect, but it's stretchy enough. And then knit on the leg in stockinette, which I don't normally do stockinette, but that's what the pattern called for. And I was wearing my party up and getting down socks, and those are some of my favorites. And they're kind of stockinette. There's something you do on like 4 stitches, but anyways, essentially stockinette for the fit. And then she has this really cool heel. So when you get to the heel, you do a provisional cast on and then work the heel, which is this like turning. How am I going to show you that? This turning. It, instead of having 2 decreases that go like that, it has decreases around. And it was fun to knit. It seems, so these aren't for me either, it seems like that heel is very deep. You know, so we'll see how it fits. I guess for someone with a high arch, it would be good. I kept trying them on, trying to figure out when to start decreases. They're from my mom. She's a size smaller than I am, so roughly ½ an inch difference. So hopefully these will fit, but I have not Kitchenered the toe up yet, and I'm going to see her tomorrow, so I may just have her try these on before I do the Kitchenering. But I set these aside and cast on the next one. So there you go. Here it is in progress. I will tell you that I did the provisional longtail cast on, which basically you use your scrap yarn on over the thumb, and you just cast on, and then when you're done, it's fiddly because you are like picking up, clipping, pulling. There are definitely better casts on, especially a crochet cast on. Other provisional cast-ons, there are better ones. But for the tools I had at hand at that moment, I didn't have a crochet hook, and I wanted to get going onto that part of the sock, so it was useful for that. You getting tired of this hat? My head's getting a little warm. It's supposed to be like 65 degrees outside. I do need to go out there. So those are the socks. That was a new cast on. I have another new cast on. Scrappy seems to be the thing lately. So I do have some baby items to knit, and so I was looking through my queue for something that I had queued more than 5 years ago, because that gets you extra points in Downseller Studios' current knit along. So I found that I had the toddler snappy shoulder, snappy as in like looks snappy, not as in snaps, snappy shoulder vest, t-shirt, toddler vest by Sam Lamb. So I am knitting this on size 7s. I'm holding a strand of this yellow. Wow, that's just not even, okay. It's baby yellow, right? And it's a Barocco Comfort Baby is the name of the yarn. And I want to say I have like 200 yards. I have fewer yards than the pattern calls for. So the arm and collar trim is going to be contrasting for sure. So I have this, and then to get to the right weight, I wanted to use some of the yarns that have been included in my scrappy blanket, but I still had a decent amount of scraps left of them. So enter these 2 yarns. And I thought between the 2 of them, I'm gonna get like a rainbowy looking vest, but it would be gender neutral, which is what I'm shooting for, because we don't know. So this is how it looks with them together. At first I was going every 4 stripes with I was alternating these every 4 stripes. Now that I'm lower in the body, I am using this one a little less often, just because of the amount of pink. Because when the pink shows up, that's a self-striping yarn. The other yarn is a variegated yarn. It's for like 3 rows. So I want to make sure that I'm fine with purple. I just want the pink to be a little more spread out. So the self-striping yarn is a Red Heart superwash with aloe yarn. So that's fine. And this one is, I'm almost out of it, which is awesome. This is some Into the World superwash. It's a club color from, I got this, 2013, and it's called Colors of Change, I think. So I was in their club for, gosh, 2 or 3 years. So I have a lot of Into the World, and I do love their yarn. So there's this. So anyways, the trim, right? I think a nice deep green, like that, look really good. Hey, does that help you? A nice deep green. So I have this little bit of a skein. I'm gonna say this is some knit picks. So just making sure everything's super washed, because who knows what a little baby's gonna do. Oh, and I wanted to knit this pattern, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this. And I got needles, and I cast it on, and I started going, and I can't remember if it's free or not, but you do some part up here first, and then you knit the front and the back separate, and then you join in the round. And as I Yeah, because you can see the different directions of the stitches, right? They're horizontal here and then they're vertical. When I joined in the round and it said cast on for the underarm, and it was a large number to cast on, I was like, what size vest am I knitting here? And that's when I realized I'm making a 2T. So the baby won't be needing this for a while or able to wear it. So I'm doing it. So there's that. But yeah, size 7s. So it's knitting. Oh, my eye's twitching. Does your eye ever do that? Okay. It's knitting up really, really, really fast. And then, okay, so mark this down. The first thing from the UFO bin. Woo, 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 woo. I said I wanted to get this done in February as well. And it's 60 something out today. But, oh well. So this is the Nautical Knot hat by Ann Waits. Yes, that is her name. I knit one in 2018 for my friend, and now I am knitting one for Steve. So the band is knit as like a long straight strip, and then I did a 3 needle bind off. Honestly, I don't even know what the pattern said to do. But I 3 needled it together, and here is lovely black yarn. So I knit about that much on the way down to Boston in the car, and then I picked up around and started going up for the hat. I am holding a strand of Frog Tree Alpaca Sport. It's 130 yards. And a strand of Lang Action wool. So it's super soft and cushy. And Steve does love alpaca hats. I've knit him at least 2, and he's felted 2. So this may be destined to be felted as well. But yeah. So, can you see the flex? I love it. I think it's a really good combination together. So just gives him a little bit of a fun hat, something different to wear. He wears his gray Twigs hat that I knit him with 2 strands of sock weight yarn. He wears it every day to work. So I would like him to have more. He had picked out a yarn at Rhinebeck, and I had a little meltdown one night this week because I couldn't find it. He picked out this like olive green yarn that he wanted. It's an alpaca. It was New Moon, I want to say. It was a new to me vendor, new yarn, worsted weight. Let's try this. And he picked it out. It was on special. I know I've talked about this yarn. I cannot find it. That's what I get for not casting it on right away. So that's Steve's hat. And I think that's all I've got for knitting content. I talked to you about what I've been reading. You want to talk about what I've been watching? So I got the Unlimited, Captain Unlimited. Have you seen the commercials? If you're in the Northeast, you probably have, at the movies. So I now can go as many times as I want, whenever I want. And you're over there saying, Steph, you don't see that many movies. I know, because it's expensive at $15 a ticket. Who wants to dish that out several times a month? I'd rather buy yarn, honestly. But this is like $18, $19 a month. Unlimited? Okay. Because I know I'm going to see several movies with the boys. I'm going to want to see some summer blockbusters. Wonder Woman's coming. I wanted to see Knives Out. It's still there. I need to go see it. Anyways, okay. So, since we last spoke, I saw Emma with Mom and my friend Lauren, and it's not worth it. Don't see Emma. And earlier that same week, I saw Call of the Wild with my parents. And, yeah. So, I'm basically going to go to the movies during the day when the boys are at school and I'm free. And Steve's okay with it. I checked with him. So, yeah, Call of the Wild, I knew it was going to make me cry. Like, that was inevitable. Any animal movie makes me cry. But it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. The disappointing part was that the Alaska scenery was not nearly as much as I was hoping for. Like, the movie is filmed outside in super large part, but I really wanted some nice views, and yeah. So, it's good though. I enjoyed seeing the woman from The Expanse, if you've watched that show. Oh God, Drummer. Anyways, she's in Call of the Wild, and it's just a completely different role for her. So, and there were some really good parts. Like, I'm picturing there's a part with ice, and it's really cool. So, if you have any interest at all in seeing that, you should. I've also watched Jamestown so that's on Prime. Hang on, I gotta look at my color switching. So Jamestown, okay. Period piece about, I don't know if it was the first. Well, it was the Virginia colony, Virginia settlement in 1619. I think is what it says it every time, every episode. You'd think I would remember. But I watched the first season because that was free on Prime. To watch seasons 2 and 3, I need to buy them, and I'm not going to buy them. So I did see that Masterpiece Theater has 2 things that look good. They have Sand and Ton, which was the unfinished work of Jane Austen. It was her last story. I think Mom said there were 8 chapters written, and they added, the author that picked it up added 3 to finish it off, and so they've made a mini series out of it, and apparently it's very good. So that's Mom's review. I need to watch that, so I'm sure I'll be talking to you about me having watched that. I'm trying to think, is there anything else I've been into? Magicians. Yeah, I'm on season 5. It's good. I like it. So, yeah, I think that's it. I think I have talked at you long enough. Do you want to know anything about the boys? Let me think for a second. Wait. So we went to Boston, went to a bar with our children. It was a lunchtime event, so I felt like it was okay. We watched soccer, and we played around in Boston a little bit, and then I got scared. I should have been more scared. Steve is not at all scared about the coronavirus for some reason. He doesn't listen to the news the way I do. And yeah, I kind of put my head in the sand, and we sanitized everything, and hopefully that was enough. And hopefully you're all well. And if you're sick and you're watching this right now, I hope you get better soon. We've had one friend that we know of that has it, and I'm just praying for all the great aunts and uncles and great grandmothers, everybody to be okay, and all of you, you know. It's a scary time. So that's kind of a downer. I didn't mean to go there. So we went to Boston. Did we do anything else? No. We ate the Impossible Whopper. I haven't been able to eat fast food. I've been a vegetarian for 16, 17 years. I don't know, whatever. And now I'm going to do the math in my head. 17 years. So fast food for us is like Dunkin', and you don't, an egg is an egg is an egg, and their eggs are not great. So yeah, I'll eat it if I'm out and I need something, but I definitely don't look forward to it. And so I haven't really eaten like a cheeseburger or anything like that. Like full calorie fast food, bad for you. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll have our like a Boca burger at home, or Morningstar, or corn patty, chick patty. But yeah, since they got the Impossible Whopper, we've had it a few times. It's really good. It's nice. So there's that. I'm endorsing Burger King. Okay, I'm going now. Have a great 10 days or so. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Enjoy your spring knitting, and I will see you soon.